Found a list of names.
Alright, you guys, chilling out at my boy Marco's place, catching the flight later. Pig!
Sunday too.
So here we go, back to Miami, off the train. Chilling here at the airport in Denver. Just had a minor freak out because I set my camera through the checking in x-ray thing and I wasn't sure if it was okay, but apparently it is. So now I'm not freaking out. Friday night, we're getting in early Saturday morning, and I don't know, maybe by the time you guys see this, everything will be up on the channel. Honestly guys, I had the best time in Denver. I absolutely love it. But the trip was sort of half planned due to the hurricane scenario and then having to leave from Orlando. So let's just say bodybuilding, fitness, kitchen, having my stuff ready when I needed it was few and far between for about how many times it happened. I trained every day, did cardio every day, but it's not enough when your diet is completely up in the air. So it's time to get back and hit it hard, and I'll catch up with you guys soon. Thank you so much. It's back to reality, back to making some gains.
Motion. Kind of get a clear sense of how this thing might play out. We've actually sent already.
Ride is over. Sun still is not up in Miami, but I'm so glad to be back, to have my kitchen, my house. It's gonna be awesome. It's time to grow. Initiate growing season for the rest of the year. Hopefully, but let's start getting some clean meals in. I'm excited. It looks like the hurricane took some of these trees down a little bit, but nothing too crazy. Saturday morning, it's time to get a meal in. And what's the first thing we're gonna do here? Let's see, gotta catch up on some Olympia, and I feel like training legs. So eat, sleep, train, probably gonna happen today. I'll catch you guys later. So as you guys might be able to guess, my sleep schedule is all sorts out of whack. There we go, people getting to work on just some small issues the apartment complex had. So nothing crazy here, guys. The extent of the damage is extremely minimal. We kind of just lost a lot of old trees and really branches, so we got lucky. I'm still out of breath, like I'm a mile high up. It's the middle of the day on my first day back. We flew on the red eye overnight. So today is a leg day, and I'm gonna talk about my split, talk about my plans as the week progresses, because although it is Saturday, it feels like the most aggressive Monday ever. I have to touch on it, but I have a job interview September 23rd, and since smoking in Colorado is legal, I had no issue to do that, really, honestly, in my opinion, because I'm not breaking any laws. And I've spoken to some people who've had to just bring proof of their travel, etc. But that said, yeah, no more smoking for me, no more consuming marijuana, because A, it's illegal, and B, I'll be drug tested. So that's the plan for the short term. But my overall thoughts, as you guys can see, is that incorporating and doing things that you enjoy in moderation that are questionable for your health aren't gonna be the things that are the deciding factor in your overall health. So if you guys like to consume a little bit of alcohol, smoke a little bit of marijuana, do things that aren't inherently extremely addictive, that's fine. But as far as tobacco goes, nicotine, amphetamines, Adderall, stuff like that, personally, for me, I find those things to be extremely dangerous. Whereas things that are, to me, less addicting, like having a beer or having a little bit of marijuana, that is something I can go with or without. But for me, tobacco, I guess binge drinking, and uppers, stimulants, amphetamines, DMMA, even legal ones like that are promoted, Adderall, prescription, that stuff makes me sick. So let's go train. Alright guys, what's going on? Thank you for joining me for this leg workout. For this first minute of the voiceover, so I'm just going to cover what I did in the gym, and then for the rest of the voiceover, as you guys will have some footage to watch, I'll get into more on the recreational drugs and bodybuilding and my experience with recreational drugs and bodybuilding, and just the kind of, I guess, words of wisdom or practical advice, and not just really beating around the bush and bullshitting you guys. So this is the typical leg workout I've been doing since I herniated a disc in my back 7 months ago, which most of you that are watching are probably aware, and it's been the best workout I've developed, and it's taken me months and months and months, but I got away from the barbell squatting, got away from the deadlifting, and I miss it but it wasn't necessary for me to maintain and possibly even progress. So this is a warm-up. I do the bands, I do the hamstring curls, I do the abductors at like an RPE 6 or 7 just to get warmed up, maybe get close to failure in the last set, and then I hit it hard after I'm ready. Feeling hella weak. 3 sets there, 3 sets on sumo, 3 hacks, then we'll finish. All right guys, so where do we begin? I'm just gonna jump right into it. No edits, no cuts, and give you guys my honest opinion over the next few minutes. So I did spend a week in Colorado. I have been introduced to smoking years ago. I never got into it until I was in my 20s, but I was exposed to it as early as 15 years old. For me personally, I was exposed to binge drinking my whole life. So people in my family, as I was growing up, 6 years old, 9 years old, 12 years old, and around 13 years old, it switched from me watching certain people in my family drinking to watching certain siblings, older siblings. I don't want to be too specific, I have 2 older siblings, but anyways, when I was just a young kid before I was a teenager, it seemed as if binge drinking was part of like some sort of culture that my distant family or just sort of part of my family celebrated. They thought drinking wine, having the rum and cokes and their beers and stuff like that at dinners was socially acceptable, and it is. But somewhere along the line, with my family being in the United States, us going to school, older siblings going to college and high school, it did get out of hand for our environment in certain ways. But I was always told never to do drugs, never to do anything. But smoking cigarettes and drinking was acceptable socially, on your own leisure time. So what I want to give you guys is my experience. My experience has taught me that tobacco and alcohol are way more addictive and way more damaging than marijuana. I'm gonna repeat it. Alcohol and cigarettes are way more addicting than marijuana. And the withdrawal, the feeling like you're missing out, the eagerness to consume more and more tobacco and alcohol is very strong, and I've never experienced that with marijuana. And again, things such as Adderall, DMMA, amphetamines, cocaine, hardcore stimulants, things like that are extremely addictive and they deteriorate you from the inside out. And in my opinion, marijuana just does not do that. It can be overdone, smoking is dangerous, but there are healthier ways to consume it. And as practical advice, as I promise guys, don't be afraid of it, but don't break the law, and make sure the choices you make are gonna keep you safe and not endanger those around you, like drinking and like doing drugs in excess. So enjoy your herbs safely, and I'll see you again soon, guys. Thank you. All right, guys, lied a little bit. Had to squeeze in a little. Maybe tomorrow we'll start though. Feeling good?